Please listen carefully.
Extreme Job is a Korean action comedy directed by Byeong-heon Lee and was apparently a massive success at the Korean box office. Our main characters all work for the Korean police within this narcotics squad, and they are tasked with surveying these drug traffickers. Where these drug traffickers are hiding out happens to be just across the street from a fried chicken place. This chicken place, nobody really goes to it, and it's for sale. The owner is trying to get rid of it. So our main characters band together because they're not really backed by their chief. They decide to pull all their financial resources together and purchase the chicken place so they can use it as a steakhouse. They're kind of on thin ice with the rest of the police department, as they've kind of screwed up a lot of jobs up until then. And so they're really trying to make this one work. So one day, they're working from their hideout in this chicken shop, and some people just wander in randomly. And of course, they think it's a restaurant, and they ask to be served delicious fried chicken. Now, our cops don't want to blow their cover, so they decide that they will actually start cooking for these clients, and as it happens, one of the cops actually has a pretty decent recipe for marinated pork, applies that to chicken, and lo and behold, the chicken is actually sensational, and so the restaurant becomes hugely successful, is this hugely popular place where all soul hipsters want to go eat. So our heroes now find themselves in a pickle, if you'll pardon the food pun, between their new business venture that's going so well and their regular day-to-day police work. Now, it seems from the outset like a really bad Europa Corp comedy actually works very well, and I think that's in large part due to the actors that are all selling their roles and selling the gags perfectly. The gags are actually pretty fun and inventive, and it's generally just a good time out at the theater. We certainly could have done without the inevitable action sequence in the third act that takes place at a shipyard. I mean, how many of these films have a last act that takes place at a shipyard? It seems like they all do. And in general, that whole portion of the film seems to basically negate any of the setup that you've done previously with our characters, which is to say you've spent a large portion of the film presenting them to us as kind of doofuses and incompetent. The first sequence of the film certainly seems to indicate this, and every subsequent scene afterwards, actually. But then, for the purposes of an action scene in the third act, you then just transform them randomly into badasses, and that's something that is actually a not so well kept secret. Apparently everybody in this police department who's been criticizing them actually knows how crazy good they are at fighting. Regardless, the film is very much a pleasure to sit through, and it's exactly the kind of film you want to see at Fantasia. A big Korean populist crowd pleaser, and I say that in the best sense of the word. And I certainly came out of the screening craving the delicious fried chicken that the police officers were dealing with, and not so much the delicious heroin that the drug traffickers were dealing, so the film certainly did something right. Apparently, the movie is getting a US remake with Kevin Hart, so yay. As always, thanks very much for watching the video. Please be sure to hit the like button if you like the review, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, see ya.